Hi, my name is Lorna Muthamia Ochido, and I'm making it one of my life's mission to demystify the speech therapy field and to empower more parents on what they can start to do in order to optimize their child's communication outcomes. So whether you want your child to talk more or talk better, learn better, and overall optimize their potential. So stay tuned and feel free to send in any topics on speech and language development you'd like for me to tackle. Hi and welcome to my channel. I am Lorna Muthamia Ochido. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I publish a new video. Today, I am tackling a topic that is very close to my heart, very dear to my heart. And that's 3 activities that you can do at home as a parent to strengthen your child's reading skills. Now, I have posted a few other videos relating to reading, like, myths about dyslexia. I think I have posted something else, or rather, we will link it because I don't remember. But it looks like there's quite an interest about reading skills, or rather reading disorders. So I am very excited to be shooting this video, and I hope that you find it useful and informative. So the 3 things, parents are always asking me, what can we do at home? And there's usually a helplessness, is there something I can do? Should I just leave it up to the teacher? The teacher knows best. I don't even know how they teach them reading these days. It's so different from the days I was taught reading. So there's all kinds, of reservations from parents. And I know one of the reservations is usually, I don't even know how to sound out. They're taught the phonics way. Now, please check out that video on phonics and how you can, improve your skills at, sounding out. So check out that video. So what are the 3 things that you can start to do today to strengthen your child's reading skills? So first thing is, and I guess before I talk about them, I guess I'll talk about what they all are about. Yeah. So there's something called phonological awareness. And phonological awareness is the explicit awareness that a word is made up of sounds, and not just that a word is made up of sounds, but really how those sounds compare to other sounds in other words. So that's called rhyming, and just how you break up those sounds in that word, how you break up the bigger parts, the syllables. So that's all referred to as phonological awareness. And research has found, and this is, very consistent research over the last, since 2011, over the last really 10 years, and I know there's just dating further to about 20 years ago, that children who become successful readers, that this is the route really, that or these are the skill, this is the skill that needs to be strengthened. So their phonological awareness skill. And sometimes I'm asked, what's the difference between phonological awareness and phonics? And really the difference is that phonics is almost just a part, as just a subset of phonological awareness, whereas phonics might just emphasize the letter sound conversion. So A stands for short vowel A, B stands for B, the consonant sound. But with phonological awareness, we are concerned with, does this child hear that this word cat is made up of 3 sounds? And those 3 sounds are k, a, t. And that the first sound is a k, and the middle sound is a short vowel A, and the last sound is t. And that if I was to tell them to compare the word cat with another word like hat, that they'll be able to say it rhymes, and they understand why it rhymes. So all that really is what is referred to as phonological awareness. And phonological awareness has 3 subsets, and these are the subsets that really make up, the activities that you can start to implement with your child at home, and you will see results. I promise you, you will. So phonological awareness is made up of 3 subsets or 3 subcategories. The first level, which is usually the easier one, is the rhyme level. So rhyme level is just the endings of words, yeah? And then the second subcategory is syllable awareness. And syllable awareness are just the bigger parts contained within a word. So there's the smaller parts, which is the sound level. And by the way, which is the third subcategory, phoneme level. So you have rhyme awareness, syllable awareness, and phoneme awareness. So phoneme refers to the smallest unit, of sound is a phoneme. So in cat, one phoneme will be the k, and then the other one is the a, and then the third one is the t. So if you strengthen a child's rhyme awareness, and you strengthen their syllable awareness, and you strengthen their phoneme awareness, it's guaranteed they're going to be brilliant readers, like a guarantee. So what are the 3 things you can start to do? You can engage your child a lot more with rhyme activities. The early books are usually, they usually contain a lot of rhyme. There's a video where I've shot how you read to your child to build their language skills. That book there had so many rhymes, and there's many books, many of my kids' books contain a lot of rhyme words. So as you're reading to your child, draw attention to the rhyming words, you know, so and usually it's they're at the end. There are also nursery rhymes. Nursery rhymes are rhymes, you know. So as you go, twinkle, twinkle, little star, you know, the thing that we emphasize more, the ending are actually the rhyming words. Star, how I wonder what you are, hi, you know, all those are the ones that rhyme. So emphasize those. See if your child is able to pick out words that rhyme, and sometimes the words sound the same, well, look the same, like cat and hat look the same, but star and R, you know, they don't look the same, but they actually rhyme. And really for a child, don't be hung up on, oh, will the child know? They are just using their hearing. They're not really using their memory of how those words are written to say, oh, well, they look not similar. So emphasize rhyming words each time you catch them, and your kids will get so good at it. When I've done this with all my children, is that sometimes I'm not even aware of the rhyming pairs. They're the ones who, you know, alert me like, oh, mama, this and this rhyme. I'm like, oh, I have to actually do a, oh yeah, they do. And I'm so proud of myself that I actually taught them to recognize rhyme. Second thing that, or second activity that you can carry out with your child that will strengthen their reading skills is syllable, you know, syllable awareness activities. So what a syllable awareness is, where you clap out big parts in words. So a big part, and it could be like a compound word, you know, like cupcake, and you say, oh, let's clap out the parts in that word, cupcake, and it's cup and cake. Could be table. How many sounds, how many parts, or how many claps do you hear in the word table? Table. And they can't say ta, it has to be the bigger parts. And the reason why rhyme awareness activities are so critical as well to a child's reading success or literacy development acquisition is because they help a child, you know how to word attack a new word, even spell it or read it. So if they see a word that is a big word, and you know, it also just gives them the idea that big words are made up of small words, you know, small parts, and those parts are the syllables. And then you also, you know, you understand then when you're clapping out that each part actually conforms to a rule, which it has to have a consonant, it has to have at least one, it has to have one vowel, and you know, at least a consonant. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't qualify as a syllable. So when they encounter a big word when they're reading, and it's overwhelming, like this has happened with my 5-year-old. I mean, he's learning how to read, and I can see when he's breaking up very big words, like say, for example, he's breaking up a word like ducklings, for example. I just spotted book written ducklings. So he'll go d, a, k, k, l, I, n. And then he just gets lost in all of it. He can't put it back together. But then now if you say, okay, well, if he understands that there are parts in a big word, he might just pull apart the sounds contained in maybe the first 4 letters. So duck, or D-U-C-K, d-a-k. And then after that, you encourage your child to put it together, because that's, you know, the part and then the other one. So once he's put it together, that's duck. Oh yeah, there you go. So you read it. You're able to read a consonant, vowel, consonant word, which duck is as well. So d is a consonant, a is a vowel, k is a consonant. And then cover that, and then you read the ending, and then you put it together. So when they have well-developed syllable awareness, it just makes reading much, much quicker and smoother and, you know, less frustrating. Number 3, another activity that you can carry out with your child to strengthen their reading skills is, well, you know, pulling apart sounds. So things that are to do really with the phoneme awareness level. So the 3rd level of phonological awareness, which is phoneme awareness. And I said, remember, phoneme are the smaller parts or the smallest unit of sound, so in a word. So like the word cat. So you could be reading a word, you could be reading books, and then you can say, oh, that word cat, what is the sound at the beginning of cat? And your child has to think and say, oh, is it? And sometimes, you know, you can make it easier for them. Is it k or is it t? You know, and then once they're able to identify the sounds at the beginning, you can help them identify the sounds at the end. You can, you know, creativity, you can just be creative with it. You can give them 3 words, you know, so they do like an oddity task, and you say to them, there's cat, cup, and hat. Which one's odd one out? And you just told them to listen to the beginning sound of each of those words. So all these activities, what they do is that they really teach children to have integrity for sounds, and the understanding that a sound, when it's changed in one way, actually changes the meaning of the word. It changes, you know, how it's said, so that they understand that basically these are units that, you know, when something moves, something changes, as opposed to thinking or reading is this thing that is complex that we can't decipher. We just need to memorize whole words and be happy that we've memorized the whole words. And that's not sustainable. And I've come to, you know, realize that a lot of children or a lot of reading programs in schools, they emphasize on kids actually memorizing whole words. And sometimes when they come to the clinic and I am assessing them, and this child cannot read, but they have so many, they have a bank of memorized words that they have, you know, been taught to memorize as whole words, as whole units, which, as I say to you, is definitely not sustainable. So I really hope that you found this video useful or informative. Just to recap, the 3 things that, or the 3 activities you can start to work on with your child at home to strengthen their reading skills, you know, rhyme level, you know, activities, and, you know, identification of smaller parts in big words, and also just being able to detect, you know, beginning sounds, middle sound, ending sounds. So that's the phoneme level task that really overall will contribute to strengthening your child's phonological awareness skills, which are a precursor or a critical foundation block to literacy acquisition. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, if you have, you know, learned anything new, or if you have any questions. And like the video if you did like what I was talking about, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you, and catch you later.